Claire and this is my channel Stitch Hem Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Today's video is a Friday sews video and I thought I would talk through my lovely weekend away with my sewing friends. So we went away a couple of weekends ago now and we had just such a fabulous time. Lots of sewing, lots of chatting, lots of laughing. I definitely had on, I think it was one of the days, like really sore face from sort of smiling and laughing so much. So that shows what a great day it was, or great weekend it was. I managed to get a few things sewn up. I have realised I am definitely not a speedy sewer, not in relation to some of the people that have just managed to sew so many things, but I'm okay with that. That's okay if I'm a bit of a plodder. And yeah, I got 5 things sewn up. But I've got 6 things to show you, so stick around to see what that 6th item is. So the first thing I got sewn up was a super speedy quick make. I wanted to sew myself up a little glasses case because I tend to take my glasses on and off, and I just wanted something that was going to protect my glasses when I was taking them on and off when I was sat at my sewing desk. So I just whipped this up really quickly and churned it out. Now I'm really sorry if you can hear some banging in the background. My neighbours are having work done. I've tried to pick a time when they're not doing stuff. Clearly it hasn't worked, but apologies for that banging. So what else did I get sewn up? I got sewn up the Bestie bag by BF Patterns. Now this is a pattern that I've sewn up 3 times already. Well, this is the 3rd time. And the first was for myself, the second for my sister, and this one for myself. This is a waterproof fabric because I just thought that would be really useful in these wintry months. I've gone with this turquoise zip and it's got a sort of rainbow design teeth, and I've gone with the oil slick zipper pull to match. It's got a lovely little label on that says made on one side and by my hand on the other. Sorry, that's probably going to be upside down. The lovely Adele gave me that label because I forgot to take my labels with me. So all of my makes, I think, have got labels in for either Adele or Becky, who were very kind and supplied me with labels throughout the weekend. Now in my bag I have got this gorgeous lining here, and the other thing that I've done that's different to the pattern is I've added an internal pocket, zipped pocket, because I just find that quite useful. I haven't done that on my other designs and I just decided that would be useful. I've got slightly different fabric on that side because I just didn't quite have enough. That side of the pocket has got the actual fabric. Probably should have done that the other way around, but I don't think that really matters. I think that looks quite nice anyway, matches quite nicely. And the other thing that I always do with my patterns, or with my bag, sorry, should I say, is I added a little bit to put your keys on because I find that was quite useful. Again, sorry, so sorry for that banging. The next thing I made, I think I'm showing to these in the order that I made them, was the holly jumper by Sew Over It. Now this is the 2nd time of me making this pattern. I'll pop a picture in of the one that I made previously. This I've sewn it up exactly the same as last time. I've sewn up version 2 jumper, so the longer jumper, and it's got these gorgeous sort of puff sleeve, but they're not massively puffy. There's a dart at the shoulder that gives it really nice shaping, and because I'm just into the larger size band, there's also a dart on the at the bust as well, which I find really nice. It gives a bit more shaping. I've got a lovely little label in here that says "Mwah," and that was supplied to me by the lovely Adele because, as I said before, I forgot my labels. And yeah, I'm really chuffed with this. I'll pop a picture in of me wearing this item as well. I picked this fabric up from Eliza Mac Fabrics. I do believe that she does still have it in stock because it wasn't very long ago that I bought it. So I will try and link that in the description below if you are interested. I find her prices are really reasonable, so she's well worth checking out. Right, the next item that I made, I think, was this, which is my Sofa Tidy, which is a fairly new pattern released by the lovely Adam from Adam Sews. If I just hold it like that. Hopefully you'll be able to see it all. So basically it hangs over the arm of your sofa. If I use my arm like it was the sofa arm, this bit you can put in your odds and ends, or you could pop in some sweet treats maybe. It's got a little pin cushion. On here is a section that you can use as a needle minder. Now I've changed that very slightly. So the idea was that you put a piece of webbing and then maybe a nice colourful piece of ribbon, and you kind of anchor it in the middle and at either end, and then you can secure your needle minders to it. Now I've only got the one needle minder, so I decided to use some magnetic tape. So on one side of the magnetic tape is adhesive, so you pull that off. So what I did is I used the some webbing. I attached the bag webbing, the magnetic strip to the bag webbing. I then covered it in fabric, and then I've just sewn either side of the magnetic tape, so not through the magnetic tape itself, and obviously it's secured at either end by the binding. And that just means, actually, if I just want to put a needle on, it's already there. I don't need to worry about using a needle minder. Obviously I've got the pin cushion there as well. These are secured, both these items are secured by snaps, 2 snaps on that one. I think in the pattern this is just secured by one, but I actually added an additional one just because I thought that would just make it just slightly more secure, particularly if my boys are running past or something. I've done a couple of lines of stitching just to provide up this pocket, and for now I have left this pocket with no divider in, just because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be putting in what predominantly, so I didn't want to kind of limit what I could put in there for now. I'm sure at some point I will probably add a couple of extra lines on there just to secure that pocket, or kind of provide 2 pockets or something, but I didn't want to kind of limit myself before I was really using it, so that I could decide in the future what I wanted to do. So the next item that I made was the Nina Lee Camden skirt. Now this is a pattern that I've made a couple of times before, and but haven't made for a year or so. Now that was my downfall, because I thought that I didn't really need to look at the instructions very much. Which was an error on my part, because I ended up, the zip is supposed to be in the back seam, but I had sewn the back seam together and I top stitched either side of the back seam, and then I realised that I hadn't put the zip in. So I had a bit of a grumble. I probably said a few little choice words, shall we say, and had a bit of a grump. There was a few moments of grump actually through making this skirt. Anyway, I decided to put the zip in the side, which actually has gone in fine. It's not my best invisible zip. There is a bit of zip showing at the top there, but it's not too bad. Oh, and I've just noticed that I've got a little bit of the pocket that hasn't quite gone into the seam, so I'll just need to run another line down. That's not too difficult to fix. I've lined the pockets in a different fabric just for a bit of fun, and I've also, because I didn't do the lining, I chose to just bias bind the edge, so I've done the bias binding in that same fabric that matches the pockets. I mean, those details nobody else is going to see, but I will, but so I just thought that was really just nice little details. It's like nice to do those, isn't it, when we're creating our own handmade garments. And in this one I've gone with a label, I think this one came from Bex, that says made with love and swear words, because this one definitely had a couple of choice words said through it. Now the next item, the 6th item, is a garment, but I didn't actually sew it. So the lovely Bex was making this item for herself. She tried it on and it was way too big for her. Just she'd made it before, but different fabrics, sometimes that don't have the same sort of stretch and recovery, can produce quite different size garments, and this was one of those scenarios. So it's, I mean, it's almost like she did genuinely make it for me, because the colour is my colour. So it's a ribbed jersey, very soft, just really nice. It's got this sort of mock sort of turtleneck on it. Sorry, I think I'm showing you the back. And it's sort of slightly gathered into the cuff, and it's got quite a long cuff on. It's really lovely. And it's just got a straight bottom at the bottom. So yeah, she tried it on and it didn't fit. And so Dale said, Claire, you try it on. And I was like, oh, I don't think it'll fit me. Anyway, it's not a bad fit, actually. I'm really quite pleased. It's got a gorgeous label in that says, you look pretty nice. And so, yeah, I inherited a new top. Now, I cannot remember for the life of me what this top is called. So I am going to write it along the screen and obviously pop it in the description below once I've found out the details from Becky. So thank you. So that is Becky from What Beck Sews. So you'll know that she is a prolific sewer, and she made so many gorgeous things. And I'm sure she'll be sharing all of her items on her channel really, really soon. Don't think she's already put out what she actually got made. So those are my makes, and the make that I didn't make. Okay, so the next part of the video is talking to you about some fabrics that I got from the de-stash. That a few of us had bought fabrics that we wanted to de-stash, and so we did a bit of a fabric swap. So I think myself, Becky, Katie and Sarah. Now Sarah had bought absolute mountains, like so much fabric, and so we all had a great time, came away with lots of fabric. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody. The first fabric, I had actually put a little plea out before I went to the retreat, asking if anyone had any black velvet fabric, and Katie had, and I just wanted a very small amount to make like an evening bag. Now so the lovely Katie came through with me. Now this has got some stretch, but that's absolutely fine. I will just interface it and then it will turn into a much more firm fabric, and I think that will make a really lovely evening bag. It's got some little sequins on it as well. I think that's going to be really, really nice. So that's the plan for that fabric. Now the next fabrics, I think, were all from Sarah. As I say, she bought volumes, like boxes and boxes of fabric. Lots of them were kind of upholstery weight fabrics and things, but there was lots of dressmaking fabrics too. So I've picked up this little piece of fabric. This is just some cotton canvas fabric, I would suggest, and I thought it would just make a great bag lining, or even an actual bag. Yeah, really lovely blue colours, really like it. Just quite a print that's quite random, but really like it. The next fabric is a cotton jersey fabric. It's actually coming up quite a lot brighter on camera than it is. It's more of a denim blue colour, I would suggest, and it's got these sort of crowns on. No idea what I'm going to make from it. I think there's probably 1.5, maybe just over 1.5 meters, so maybe a t-shirt or top or something, maybe something for my boys. Not quite sure about what I'm going to make with that one, but it's really lovely. It feels really soft, really nice. The next one I could not resist because it's teal and it's a piece of viscose fabric. Again, maybe pushing 2 meters, between 1.5 and 2, I would suggest, meters of viscose fabric. Probably leaning towards a visco twill. It's a little bit heavier than just a standard viscose, I think. Yeah, it's really nice. Really like the colour, obviously. That's really lovely. And they've also picked up this piece of a remnant piece of Ponte, and it's in like a camouflage fabric, and I just thought I'd probably get a pair of shorts or something for my boys out of that one. And then the last fabric is this piece of fabric here. It's got kind of tealy colours to it, so obviously that's why it drew my attention. It's sort of a Chanel-y type fabric, so I need to have a think about that. I think there's 1.5 meters, so there's enough to make like a little jacket or something. So any ideas on that in terms of patterns I'd really be grateful for. I know that Sew Over It do a little sort of Chanel-y style jacket, and I need to decide whether that's my vibe or not, but I just could not resist that piece of fabric. I've got a couple of other things to show you, and thanks for sticking with me. Hopefully this video isn't too long. The lovely Becky, when I arrived, gave me these, which are some little zip pull bag chimes, one in a kind of tealy colour and one in a lilac, and they are gorgeous. So now I've shown you them on the little card, I am going to find homes for these. Got a couple of little zip pouches, which I think these would look really gorgeous on. So thank you, Becky, they're beautiful, and I believe these are available. If they're not available now, they will be available on Beck's shop soon. So that's Jazz and Wow, her little sort of sideline business. And then the lovely Adele gave me a little bracelet that says friendship is a knot that cannot be untied, and it's got a little star on there. It's just a little bracelet which I just think is really cute. So thank you, girls. Lovely. I mean, it was just such a nice weekend, such a lovely way to spend a few days with some fabulous people. So just thank you so much to everybody that attended. I just, you know, it was brilliant. I can't say thank you enough, and I would so say to everybody that is possibly thinking, oh, maybe I should get together with some friends and go away for the weekend, and so do it, because it is totally and utterly worth it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, a like would be fantastic. If you would like to give me a comment or anything in the comments below, then that would be great too. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. But until next time, I will say goodbye for now. Take care. Happy sewing. Bye bye.